I was getting to the other parts of the injuries. They
Go ahead. Tell us about the
viewed
injuries.
the bruises that I have on my arm and legs as well.
Yeah, I was just explaining to you all my injuries. Oh no, wait. I want to tell you of my other ones. I have just contusions. I have contusions. I know you are confusions because you can't see my contusions, but trust me, they're there.
Obviously, we may know that there's one person at initial appearance who made a hand gesture. I just wanted on the record
The like
that
button
there was
for
a
Mama,
second person.
please.
It's not the juror that's impaneled in this case.
I'm not aware of another.
Nor am I.
I'm not interrupting, Emma.
Give me 1 second.
Daryl like, what the fuck was that? Daryl like, what was that noise? What is that? Oh God, they're coming to get me. Yes, they are.
The juror will be out momentarily. Go ahead, Mr. Brooks.
I would like to state for the record, the prosecution seems to be saying this with firsthand knowledge.
You referring to the issue we're talking about right now?
Correct, Your Honor.
Is there a question with that, or I'm not understanding why you're raising that at this moment?
Well, I'm raising it because the prosecution said that, and they stated that they knew for a fact that this juror is not the juror that I'm speaking of.
I said that.
Well, the prosecution said it too, Your Honor.
I provided the information, said I've been able to confirm the identity of the person who made an inappropriate gesture to you at your initial appearance. And then based upon the informal questioning of the juror that you suspected was that, determined there,
you guys.
confirmed that she was not that individual, and then subsequent to confirming that informal information, I was able to do some additional questioning of law enforcement and others to determine the identity of that other person and confirm in fact that what you said happened. But it's not this juror, but we're going to bring that juror out just so you can, or I will, question her about that. So there's a very clear record that your concern and whether one of the jurors on this panel was at your initial appearance and made an inappropriate gesture can be put to bed once and for all so that you're satisfied.
Yeah, put it to bed, Your Honor.
People, okay?
Put it to bed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just can sit in the jury box.
Look
She's a
at him,
juror.
his shitty
She's
posture.
She may be put under oath and questioned. Go ahead. She can just sit in one of the spots in the jury box. Good morning. You can have a seat. I just want to put on the record, this is juror number 41, and you are not in trouble. We just have had an issue come up, and we wanted to make sure we all had accurate information. At any point in time, did you attend any of the proceedings in this matter regarding Mr. Brooks? No. Were you ever at the initial appearance for Mr. Brooks?
No.
All right. State have any follow-up based on that?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Brooks, any follow-up based on what I've asked this witness, or what I've asked this juror, sorry.
No.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna wait till she's back out of the courtroom because there's a hallway behind me, and then ask a follow-up. No. Mr. Brooks, we brought out juror number 41. Was that the same juror that you initially suspected was someone who was at your initial appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And again, she denied. She said she told us she wasn't there, and I trust that satisfies your inquiry into this issue.
I'm still a little leery, but
Okay.
I say that. I'm not interrupting, am I?
Go ahead.
I say that because
I say that
don't
because I'm a
forget
girl.
faces.
And I just really wanted to hold some shit up. I didn't really think that somebody had done something and didn't really care about it. I just wanted to, kick up shit and waste time. Just saying. I'm still leery. Please don't ask me to spell that. I do not know how.
I don't.
All right. I understand what you're saying, but the record is made clear, and I'll make a finding that juror number 41 was not at your initial appearance. And is not the person who made an inappropriate gesture to you either at or following that hearing. All All right, then any
Paula.
other issues from the state?
Yes, Judge, just a few. From yesterday's testimony, we'd like to move into evidence Exhibit 1, which was the map. Exhibit 3, which was the video played during Corey Runkle's testimony. And Exhibit 5, which is the photograph of Erica Patterson. They were all testified to yesterday.
Any objection, Mr. Brooks?
Yes, Your Honor. I guess it would be
It's not easy. I'm gonna work on it though.
to the terms of
Practice makes
relevancy.
perfect.
There's been
What
no
have been?
testimony from
No.
Miss
te-
Patterson.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm just curious to know the relevancy of that being made evidence at this point in time, because from what was said yesterday was that she would be testifying at some point. Would it not be better to have that admitted then if she decides to testify instead of right now when we're not even sure if she is going to testify?
Your objections are noted for the record. There was a proper foundation laid regarding each one of these exhibits. They also are relevant to the issues within this trial, and I'll admit exhibits 1, 3, and 5, and also advise the jury when they come back into court this morning.
Your Honor, I'm not interrupting, am I?
Hold on, I'm not to you yet. If there are any issues, any other issues from the state.
Yes, Your Honor, I would just like the record to indicate that I understand we did not follow up with this after the lunch break on the record, but it was my understanding that Mr. Brooks did receive the medical attention that he was seeking over the lunch hour. So I just wanted that on the record. And then finally, Your Honor, just a reminder to Mr. Brooks as to the other acts evidence. In line with his questioning of Corey
Maxine.
Runkle yesterday, Erica Patterson will be testifying here this morning. The court issued a ruling as to the other acts evidence. The state strictly abided by that. Mr. Brooks came very close several times to
Thank you,
opening the
Terry.
door to that testimony. We treaded very lightly on purpose to be respectful of the court's ruling. But the court warned him twice. Mr. Witchow even personally went over and warned Mr. Brooks during Miss Runkle's testimony. And before we start another round of challenges, potentially during Miss Patterson's testimony, we just
Roxy.
wanted to make a record of that so that Mr. Brooks knows
You know what I'm saying?
if he opens the door to that other act's testimony, it will come in.
All right, I appreciate the state raising that as well. Mr. Brooks, on the issue of medical attention, did you see the jail nurse or other medical personnel during the lunch hour yesterday?
Yes, I did. I received a cleaning of my cut and a bandage.
All right, thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was getting to the other parts of the injury state.
Go
ahead.
Tell us about the
The
injuries.
bruises that I have on my arm and legs as well.
Yeah, I was just explaining to you all my injuries. Oh no, wait. I want to tell you of my other ones. I have, just contusions. I have contusions. I know you are confusions because you can't see my contusions, but trust me, they're there.
I don't know what's gonna happen behind that, but I was looked at.
Ain't nothing happening
All
behind
right,
this.
thank you.
Like, I don't know if I'm gonna have to go for surgery, but we'll see. I promise to be careful though, Judge. I know you're worried about me.
Does not appear to me that any
hard.
of these injuries are interfering in any way with your ability to
Damn it.
be here today and assist in your own defense. So that's good.
Yeah, I'm just a little tender, just a little sore. So
All right.
Oh, my
Mr.
God.
Brooks, do you understand?
Mr. Brooks, do you understand that we don't give a fuck? Daryl ain't never had a point. He don't know what a point is. Except for when he feel one poking him in his back when he trying to sleep. That be Bubble.
What the state is referencing as it relates to the other acts evidence?
I do not understand.
Do you
I
recall
don't
being in
understand.
court at the end of August when the court addressed a number of motions, including a motion brought by the state to admit other acts?
And with all respect, Your Honor, this whole process is very, very new to me. So I'm trying to, I guess, stay within bounds of the questions that I'm allowed to ask. If I color outside the line, so to speak, it is not intentionally, because I'm basically learning as I go.
So I'm going to have my clerk print out the motion for other acts that was filed by the state, along with the response that was filed by your attorneys at that time, and further advise you the court did not grant the state's request to admit other acts as it relates to your conduct with Erica Patterson prior to
Hey, Joy.
November 21 of 2021. Your questions yesterday of Ms. Runkle could have opened the door to the court revisiting that issue. That's why the court stopped. It was interesting. Ms. Runkle clearly was advised not to talk about other acts. The state followed the requirement that they advise their witnesses about the court's order as it relates to other acts. And I believe I kind of paused twice and said, "Are you sure you want to answer that?" I referenced generally some prior rulings so as not to alert the jury to anything more than that. And then at one point, Attorney Wichow also came over, muted your microphone. I don't know what was said, but my understanding is he basically kind of gave you the same caution. There's a ruling, something to that effect. And I know you didn't proceed with the questions that you had originally attempted to ask this witness. So it's very clear what we're talking about. Again, I'm going to give you these filings so that you understand what I prohibited in this trial. And the record should reflect those filings are being provided. Madam Clerk, do
thank you,
happen to have the,
Robert.
document numbers for those? Sorry, I should. 161. So documents 170 and 161 were provided to Mr. Brooks. So the only other thing I'll say on that, sir, is if you ask questions, that would open up the door potentially, or at least ask questions that call for answers that might fall within that order that I issued. You do that at your own peril, and you may open the door to the state bringing in other witnesses and other testimony about those issues. So I want you to be advised of that. You are correct that when the state made the request, I prohibited the state from introducing that evidence. So you're not incorrect when you say I didn't, when you kind of referenced about there's a difference between me prohibiting you and prohibiting the state. But from my perspective, the order that I issued was to your benefit. And so you can ask those questions. You're not prohibited, but then you potentially open the door to that information becoming
Darrell look confused,
admissible in
but
this
stupid
case.
at the
So I
same
want you to be
time.
advised of that.
Hey, Marilyn.
Quick, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
I'd just like to say that I accept for value in return for value these filings. I do believe that I have a little bit more clarity, if that helps.
Thank you for putting that on the record. Do you have any other issues you want me to address?
Just very, very quick. I still don't understand the nature and cause of the charges against me, Your Honor, and I still would motion for, or tennis motion for the jurisdiction to be proven, the subject matter jurisdiction, and also a motion for finding of fact.
Hey,
Your
Sid.
requests are all noted for the record, and for the reasons previously stated on this record, I'm not going to answer those
Oh,
requests
thank you,
any
Robert.
further. They've already been denied by the court. I point you to the Beneby decision at 654 F 3rd 753. All right. Anything else, sir?
I'm not interrupting, am I?
No, I'm asking you a question.
Hit the like button.
Just for the record, Your Honor, I would like the record to reflect,
What you wanted to reflect? Tell us.
is that a judicial determination that you are making?
Yes. Now what? Yes, Daryl.
Your Honor, Mr. Brooks, the record speaks for itself. I've made my decision. We're moving on. All right. With that, then, state have a witness available to be called.
We do. Would you also just make a record, Your Honor, this morning that Mr. Brooks does appear again in his orange jail uniform and that he was offered the ability to wear street clothes and declined that offer? Also, he does have appears to have all of his discovery materials at the table with him.
Yes, thank you. I should make a record of that as well. I didn't state at the outset Mr. Brooks is here in person and in custody. He once again has come to the courtroom in jail attire. I presume, Mr. Brooks, but please confirm for me, you were offered the opportunity to change into street clothes.
Today, I'm waiting for the results of the COVID test that I took. So until I get those results back, I would prefer to not wear street clothes at this time.
All right. Can you confirm for me, though, that you were provided an opportunity to change into them if you so chose?
And not to my knowledge.
Sir, I'm providing you with that opportunity right now. If you would like to change into your street clothes, into the suit and tie that you had previously, or any other street clothes, I would give you that opportunity. Did you hear me advise you of that just now?
I might consider it. Maybe I may have more information from the medical staff once we take a break, or maybe I'm anticipating. Well, actually, I anticipated
Hey,
that I would know
Louise.
before we even started court. So
Do you want me to
Trey.
have the bailiffs ask the CO if there's any new information that can be relayed to you before we bring the jury out?
that would be helpful, Your Honor.
Do you have any objection? I could email the jail administrator if you want, or I can just simply have the bailiffs do that.
Whichever works best for Your Honor.